Welcome back to the 𝘏𝑗𝐽𝑠 Verdes altcoin and crypto trading show. We're going to cover Verasity, Trias, and MTV for new viewers. You're watching the very first crypto YouTuber to regularly cover price action of MTV and among the first to cover Trias as well. But on MTV basis, I was covering it before anybody else, so I'm pretty intimate with the price of MTV. So if you're a fan of MTV, you might want to take a quick moment, hit like and subscribe, especially if you get to the end of this video and you like the content. Make sure you hit that bell as well so you can stay in the know. What my channel does here, new viewers, is it helps you supplement your crypto journey to be more profitable by giving you an idea of what you're doing when you're clicking around with your money, because you're mostly watching folks who have project and fundamentals and news-based crypto shows, right? But they don't tell you what is happening on a statistical likelihood basis with price action. So that's what this channel does. Given that most trading crypto YouTube channels cover mostly Bitcoin and or Ethereum, maybe some Cardano as well, my channel covers a lot of altcoins. It's a pretty special niche within the crypto community. So if you like this, you might be here to stay, and don't hesitate to check out the Patreon community. And if you want to just check that out at a risk-free basis as well, I have links within the website itself so you can see exact examples of the exclusive content that I offer to my patrons and the Discord connected community. So with that said, let's dive into it. Let's start off with MTV, because man, this price action has been really, really impressive. So new viewers, if you haven't seen my previous predictions and analysis on this, before you watch this video, go watch those. Especially the last one, maybe the last two, and I should have tags so you can skip right to MTV, put it on 1.5 times playback speed, whatever, come back to this video, okay? Because because I've already done a deep dive analysis on this move up before it even happened and as it was happening, and all of the things of why, this bullishness is sustaining mostly on the monthly chart. It's really important to go watch that. But anyway, right now, the only thing to say about MTV is that holy crap, I cannot believe it stuck the landing on that line. Holy cow. Holy cow. It's going to take a lot of downside Bitcoin's going to have to go under 40K to drag this below, potentially. Could this bleed out? Maybe, but you have a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and a higher closing high. I don't think this one's going to bleed out, folks. This is looking like a pretty good asset to be holding during a downturn, among the best. This is freaking insanity. When did that downturn happen? Yesterday. So this candle down, total dive down 23%. But structurally, this is among the most beautiful landings like in all of crypto right now. It really is. I would not have guessed it would have stuck that line. Right? Even in my previous analysis, later last week, I said I could expect one or two closures below here, but in general, stick this line. So I would have fully expected that with the downturn of Bitcoin, that would have happened, and it didn't happen. That's really good, folks. I don't have anything else to say about this asset. I might move along, but downside targets, the scariest you might get is either down to this wick here or down to these wicks here. That might be, even with Bitcoin, going to mid 30s, I bet, this might be as low as it goes. 1.46 cents. That would be my very deep downside target. This is too good of a chart to bleed out as of right now. Can the chart change? Absolutely. But as of right now, this is like low end target. Mid-end target is this line. It's on it. It's holding it. And then somewhere in the middle, maybe where these candles were, somewhere in the middle would be, Bitcoin going down to 39K. MTV might wick below it, actually. So let's go to a 4-hour chart, see if there's anything there. Yeah, right here. So right at this structure, you might hit the bottom of that. You might hit the middle or the bottom of that structure. So my mid downside target would coincide with here. And that would be at 1.62 cents. So those are my 3 downside targets. But other than that, you're on a blue sky breakout in terms of daily closures, which is awesome. So it's hard to give upside targets for that. And you're probably not going to have anything racing up until Bitcoin's recovered. And you have a week close above the weekly 21, which is going to take more than, it's going to take at least 10 days for that to happen, because it probably won't happen this week. But right now, MTV, if you're holding this, fantastic. I personally do not hold any MTV. I rode this from 1.8 million cap up to 1.1 I held it up to 1.12 cents. I sold between 1.12 and 1.2, and I rode up for a 36x, and I diversified it in other stuff. However, you know, if MTV takes a dive down here, I might pick up some more because this is looking really resilient. This might be a great coin to have during downturns if it keeps doing this. This is honestly, it's quite incredible. I'm still shocked. I'm flabbergasted, honestly. This is as strong as you can get when Bitcoin's doing this, folks. So congratulations for holders of MTV. Amazing stuff. All right, Verasity. Okay, I already have a box drawn in here. It does not align with an origin line. So either this box is going to be hit with if Bitcoin doesn't recover anytime soon. So if Bitcoin goes to 40K, Verasity is going to hit this box. Where is that box? Between 2.5 cents and 2.4 cents. That would be equivalent to Bitcoin 40K. If Bitcoin goes into the 38K range, I would say this line here would be Bitcoin 38K 2.1 cents. If Bitcoin really tanks down to 36, I think this structure would end up holding Verasity somewhere in the middle. Middle of the structure might hold it, but either side of this line you might get a wick down there to 1.7 cents. So those are my three downside targets, depending on what Bitcoin price, Bitcoins. Yeah, so 40K Bitcoin, 38K Bitcoin, 36K Bitcoin, those would be your downside targets. If Bitcoin starts recovering now, what's likely going to happen on Verasity is it's going to want to jump right back into this range and move sideways until Bitcoin breaks out of its current range. It's really just ranging with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin recovers within the next week or two, you're going to see Verasity come right back in here and then move up with Bitcoin. So that's what I got for it. Those are your downside targets. Really, I mean, giving upside targets during a market downturn that could get continuation, I'm not going to do it. It's kind of a waste of everybody's time. So I'm giving you a good downside target so you can be prepared to scoop some more up if that's your thing, if you're trying to get more crypto, right? Who wants more crypto? Okay, then you need, to like downside targets and be prepared for them, right? So there you go. Here we go. Trias. Wow, Trias is structurally in its range still. I'm impressed right now. So now you have a bigger range, right, than what MTV has. However, on a structural basis, this is just as good. It held the bottom. Now it doesn't have higher highs. That obviously is better. But in specific to a range, this is a great landing for a downturn in Bitcoin. This looks really good. It looks like Trias doesn't want to go a whole lot lower. And if Bitcoin goes lower, sure, this could get dragged down a little bit too. So what would be a downside target? So if Bitcoin goes down to 40K, this might want to stop at the wick end. I would say this would be my downside target so this is Bitcoin 40K, would be Trias at $6 almost even. If Bitcoin really starts moving down, gets into the 30s, let's say high 30s, let me go to a daily chart. I might move this up. I would say it might align with these candle bodies over here, these wicks. That might hold it up for Bitcoin 40K. So honestly, I'm going to move that target up. Bitcoin 40K, I could see Trias at 625, 6.25. Bitcoin goes below 40K. Just a little bit, right, in the high 30s. I would say something to the effect of all of this support wick, candle bodies, wicks, somewhere in this range would be Bitcoin 38K where Trias would hit. So I would make a line right there, and that is quite a bit lower, but it's the next stop. That's at $5.41. And if Bitcoin really starts getting tanking, it goes in the mid 30s, you're probably going to hit the top of the structure. Okay, yeah, that's just probably what's going to happen. It will take a nosedive as well. So these are your downside targets, $4.45. So this would be related to, deep into the 30Ks, like 35K, 32K, whatever. Trias will probably want to take a bounce there at $4.45. So those are your downside targets. But right now, structurally, this looks very sound, folks. You have a series of lower highs, but you don't have a series of lower lows. It looks like this is very healthy consolidation before a move up. I mean, this looks poised. I mean, just the fact that it didn't want to move down out of its range as Bitcoin broke down out of its range, I mean, that's really good. So if you're holding Trias, I mean, once the market recovers, this really could get going. Pretty aggressively, actually. This looks really good. So that's what I got. So if you're new and you liked what you saw here today in downside targets, how do you get prepared for this? Well, maybe if you haven't taken profits, you're all in crypto, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for that. So I just let my top 2 tiers on Patreon know exact strategies. If you're all in on crypto right now, and you're not prepared for the downside, what the hell do I do? You might want to check out the community on that basis. I give exact examples. Just made a tutorial video today, which will stay on Discord, for until Discord doesn't exist anymore, and for future viewing, because it applies to all downside moves. And so don't hesitate to check out the community and hit like and subscribe if you're new. Hit like if you're returning. You all just got Timified. Be safe out there and don't be scared quite yet. Bye.